Today I'm going to show you how to use Drush CTools export bonus. So the address for this is drupal.org/project/drush_ctex_bonus. So what this does is it's a helper module to both Drush and CTools and the features module really, so that you can run one command and it'll export every known definition from your site. So let's see what that means. So I've got a fresh copy of Nittany here, and if I go into Nittany, there aren't any features really that come by default that are part of Nittany. You'll see there's chamfer defaults, textbook has some features. So there are some things that have been featureized, and if I go and I hit create feature, we'll see there's probably stuff in here, there's content types and dependencies. So there's lots of different things that can be exported, right? So what I want to do is, instead of go through, and now the features module has become exceptionally easy to use with the 2x branch, because you could just do something like main, and that'll pull up everything that's in the main menu, and then you can just select all, right? So it's pretty easy. But let's say you didn't want to do that. Let's say you wanted to do it on the back end for some reason. So what I have here is I'm in the Nittany directory that I'm working on currently. And the command I want to run is drush ctex and then the name of my module. So I'm going to call this Nittany features. And you'll see you get cancel, export everything, or make a selection. So if we do export everything, just do one there. You'll see it went and did a whole bunch of stuff automatically. If I scroll back up a little bit. So dependencies, these are additional dependencies. So it knows what dependencies are required. It knows to ignore certain things. You can see these are dependencies that were added. Following modules are enabled but not added to the dependencies list. So it's telling you some information about what's happening. I'm going to make Nittany a dependency. Technically, the distribution you install can be used as a module, which no one does, but it can be used as one. So to find that, I'm going to go to my Nittany folder and then sites, all modules, and then there's this new folder that got created here called CTools export. If I click that, you'll see there's Nittany_features there. And this is a lot of files that it went and wrote for me. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend going and just doing this and then saying, okay, I'm done. But let's see what that did exactly. So we'll go back to features page, because now this should show up as a feature. Might have to clear the cache on this to get it to show up. Look at the modules, see if it's there. Nittany features, there we go. So the Nittany features export module, and you'll see it has a lot of things required. So I'm not going to turn it on just yet. Let's see if it shows up in features. It appears that it doesn't, so it must be something you have to activate as a module. It's good to know. I haven't turned this on yet. So let's go and let's try it. Let's see what happens. So Nittany features export module. Save. See if it even goes through, because it is exporting a lot of okay, here's what it did. Cool. I don't think it has a listing of the features page. I'm very surprised about that, actually. So what that's supposed to have done, at least, we can step into the code a little bit. I can pull it up here. It goes and it actually builds a feature that's just made up of all the things that are exportable in Drupal. So using features, it's a lot easier to migrate between servers and things like that. So let me scroll this over here for you. You see I'm in my CTools export area. So you've got a lot of different exports. Let's slide this into scope. So I mean, this is what the export should be really for the box definition. If we go to the info file, you'll see there's the package that it's a part of. I don't know that I would say it's part of Chaos Tool Suite until I look at the install in the .module. So you see it waits it near the end. Modules, it goes and says, hey, these are all the things that are being defined. Here's an image style that it wrote to a file. So some people might actually view this as being more powerful than features because you're not tying things up in dependencies necessarily. That's one criticism of the features module, is that then you have this thing that you always have to have turned on. Now it does have a dependency of features still. Some of the stuff in here requires features by proxy, kind of. Like, there's WYSIWYG and WYSIWYG template, so I know that it, for example, captured my textbook editor, WYSIWYG. So even though textbook, the module, defined this textbook editor, this bundled it up, and this is essentially the same type of export, except it doesn't have the features module to do it, which is kind of neat. We can look in here as well. You can see menus. It's a common one. See, this is what the features or CTools export looks like for a menu object. I'm thinking of using a similar approach with variables, because currently, here we go, here's all the variables in this little demo site. Currently, variables don't export correctly for, in some edge cases, for the profiler builder module. Or, well, it's better used as a Drush command. But so I'm trying to come up with the best way of grabbing all that stuff and build a distribution kind of in one click. So I'm looking into using CText for that purpose. But it's definitely, at the very least, good for learning what you would expect or what CTools is doing. Because it's basically just saying, hey, CTools, what's everything that's possibly exportable in this system? And then it just writes it all to associated files. So it definitely seems like there's some work that you have to do after the fact, but for something that you just go and download and run one command, this otherwise would have taken me a couple hours to do. So pretty cool little module, worth checking out.